works and suggestions that I have for how you should approach it. Again, I will do this quite quickly. Most of you will be very familiar with this by now, but it doesn't hurt to review it, especially as we haven't done it for a little while. Next week, we're going to be focusing on writing task 2. I have been doing a lot of reading about some new strategies for this, which I hope you will find useful. So I will show you that next week. The week after that, in 2 weeks' time, we won't have a lesson because I will be traveling to Thailand on that day. And then after that, I will be doing lessons from Thailand for you for the next few weeks after that. But I will give you an assignment, a writing task 2 assignment to do instead of the lesson. So that's in 2 weeks, in 2 weeks' time. So, like I was saying, today it's speaking, next week is writing task 2. Before we start, does anyone have any questions for me? Hello, Tang. Tang. Can you hear me, Tang? Tang ơi.
Thằng ơi. Maybe he's logging in. Yeah.
He's still logging in.
Yes.
Okay, I will keep going anyway. Can you hear me, Tang?
Yeah, I can.
Okay,
Now
okay,
I can.
Tang. Well, welcome to class.
Hello, long time no see you.
Yes, long time no see. Yeah, very good English. Tang, can you turn your camera on, please, so I can see you?
Yeah, I'm working on it. Maybe 5 more minutes.
All right, thank you, Tang. Do we have any new students for this class, Mrs. Ha?
Khánh, Kim Ngân. Do you remember the girls you met already?
Kim Nang.
Yeah.
Hello, teacher.
Yeah.
Hello, Kim Nang. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. Can you turn your camera on, please, so I can see
Con bật
you?
camera lên nhé.
Okay. All right. Nice to see you again, Kim Nan.
Nice to see you.
Okay. Have you been away from Hanoi the last few weeks, Kim Nan?
One time
Yes. Where did you go?
last month.
Yeah. Where did you go?
I went to my uncle's home.
Your uncle's hometown. Where is that?
You ask again.
Where is
Ở đâu
your
con?
uncle's home? Where is your uncle's home?
Oh, it's Hoàng Mai.
Chiang Mai. Okay. How far from Hanoi is that?
No, it's located in Hanoi.
Yeah,
Oh,
how
it's
far
in
from
Hanoi.
your house? Từ nhà con đến đấy bao nhiêu xa?
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's get started, everyone. So I will share what we are going to be doing this afternoon with you. And here it is. Okay. So hopefully you should all be able to see this on your screen now. Kim Nan, can you please read for me these first 2 lines, please?
Con đọc to lên. Đọc 2 dòng đầu.
Widen your vocabulary and learn how to use it. Read and listen to English 10 minutes every day.
Okay, thank you. So this first word here, by the way, is widen. Widen. Means to make it bigger. So make your vocabulary bigger and learn how to use it. Read and listen to English 10 minutes every day. So this is how you can improve your English, well, everything, listening, writing, speaking, everything, by doing something with English 10 minutes every day, which isn't very long, but just 10 minutes every day, much better than doing just one lesson 70 minutes a week. Better to do something 10 minutes every day to remind your brain how it works. One of the keys to doing well at Ielts is, of course, having a good vocabulary. Lexical resource is what they formally call it in the Ielts prescription. But lexical resource, all that means is having a big vocabulary, knowing a lot of words. And the easiest way to do that is just to read and listen to English 10 minutes every day. Okay. We're going to start off our lessons for the next little while with a game that might be new to some of you, although some of you might have seen this before. It's called the word ladder game. So how it works is I give you two words, a starter word, and also a destination or ending word. What you have to do is come up with the words in between. So I've got an example here. This is the starter word, live, or live. Remember, this word can be pronounced two ways, live or live. Which way you pronounce it, by the way, depends upon the context of the sentence that the word is in. So this is how to use the ladder game to get from live, the starter word, to cake, which is the destination or ending word. So like I was saying, you're allowed to change one letter every time, only one letter. So from live or live, you can have love, okay, changing the I to an O, then changing the V to an S, so you get lose, then changing the E to a T, so you get lost. Remember, you can only change one letter every time. And what you're trying to do, of course, is trying to make a word using the letters that will eventually end up spelling cake. So once you've got lost, you can change that to cost. So there you've got the C of cake. Then cost you can change into cast. You've got the A for cake. Cast can become case. And then just one letter, you can change the S to a K and you have cake. So you can see it has taken 7 steps or 7 words to get from live to cake. Okay, so that's how the game works. And this is just a warm-up exercise, just to get you thinking in English and to get you practicing some small English words. So this week, because it's the first time we've played it, I'm going to give you just a couple of very easy examples. Okay, so the first one, we need to get from bat to sun. Should be able to do this in less than 5 steps. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share the whiteboard with you. Is there any question, by the way, about how this game works? I'm sure it'll make sense once we start playing. So I'm going to ask each of you in turn for a word that will help us climb the ladder to the destination word, which is sun. Okay, so I'll start with you, Paula. Paula.
Yeah,
You know what we have? You understand what what you have to do?
yeah, I understand.
Okay, what's your choice of word, Paula?
Mm, I was going to but.
Okay, that's fine. B-U-T. Okay, only changing. You can see everyone. Paula has only changed one letter, which is all you're allowed to do. But when you change the letter, it still has to be a proper English word. Okay, so we've changed bat to but. Okay, Michael.
Yeah.
All right, Michael. You know what you have to do? What is your choice of word? You can only change one letter, remember, And we are aiming for the target word or destination word, which is sun. Can you think of bus? Okay, bus. Good. Okay, Tuk Ling.
I can change once, right?
Sorry, Tuk Ling.
Wait.
So you can change, you can only allowed to change one letter. You can only change one letter. Okay,
Yes,
and the word has to be a proper word.
Yes,
Hiểu ý thầy không?
Hiểu ạ. Mình cháu
Ok.
nghĩ ra từ.
Nghĩ nhanh phát.
Okay, this is a good game to help practice
Yes.
practice your words, practice your vocabulary. And I'm starting off simple. This is a simple one, just with 3 letters. Each word only has 3 letters. Any suggestion, Tuk Ling? Otherwise, I will go to the next person.
Bun. Have any words on the bun? B-O-N.
You want to go B-O-N?
No,
That's
B-U-N.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Zung Ha. Zung Ha.
Sun.
Yes. Okay, easy. All right, now you know how it works. So we got from bat to sun, okay, in just 4 moves. All right, next one. Okay. Zung Ha. Seeing as that was too easy, Zung Ha, for you last time. So Zung Ha, you can go first this time.
Pet.
Hello, Tongue.
Yeah.
Okay, Tongue. Your choice of word is next, please.
Change one letter.
Change one letter.
Okay. Any?
Any has to make a word though. And you're trying, remember that this is the target word. You're trying to get close to this.
Set. S-E-T. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, S-E-T is a word, correct. Kim Nang.
Kim Ngân nào con ơi?
Sit.
Yes, very easy. Okay, so this was just to give you a practice. You've all had a go now. It is sit. Sit. Okay, so you've already reached the target word. Good. So you can see the word, this is a word ladder. Okay, so you just climb the ladder one step at a time to get from the starting word to the target or destination word. So that's good. Now you know how the game works. I can give you a harder one next time. All right? But that is how the game works. You change one letter each time to try and get closer to the target word in as few letters as you can. Okay. So that's what we're going to do for a warm-up from now on for a little while. Okay, so hopefully you remember last lesson we did at Mrs. Ha's house. We talked about the past, present, future strategy or tactic for answering speaking test part 2. past, present, future, or PPF for short. Now, this is a strategy that doesn't apply to every topic you will get, but it's useful to know because it will work with some of them. Paula,
Yeah.
can you remember how it works? Can you describe it to me?
So first you like past, present, future.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first you like for example, they ask you about what is your favorite place. You can say when you're young, you like this place. Now you
Mhm.
like this place, and in the future you hope you can try out another place.
Correct. Okay. So Paula described it very well. Thank you, Paula. Okay. So past, present, future, if you are given a topic, for example, that says, tell me about a favorite place of yours. So you can, first of all, talk about a favorite place that maybe you used to go when you were a child, when you were young. You can talk about a favorite place that you go to now, and you can talk about a favorite place that you would like to go sometime in the future. Why do we use this strategy? Well, we need to fill up 2 minutes. Remember, 2 minutes for your task 2 speaking exercise. This is a very easy way of enabling you or helping you to think of things to say for 2 minutes. One of the problems that many students have is that they run out of things to say. They find it hard to remember or think of new and interesting things to say for 2 minutes. So this is one way of helping you do that. Talking about something you did or enjoyed in the past, something that you do or enjoy now, and something you might think of to enjoy in the future. All right, so that instantly gives you 3 different subject headings that you can talk about, and hopefully using examples, you can easily fill up 2 minutes of talking. So past, present, future, PPF is the name of this strategy. And again, I remind you, this tactic or strategy or plan won't work with every topic. For example, if the topic card says, describe a person you know who is kind, okay, well, you can talk about someone who was kind to you in the past. You can talk about maybe someone who is kind to you now. A little bit hard, though, to talk about someone who's going to be kind to you in the future because you don't know this person. So, like I say, it doesn't work for every topic, but it does for some. And we're just going to practice this now to make sure that you understand how to use this strategy, because it's a very useful one to have in your mind, so that when you're faced with a topic, and remember, you only have 1 minute to prepare. Okay, this is a very easy way of thinking of things to say about a topic. So the first one we're going to start off with is describe a language you have learned. Kim Nan.
Kim Ngân.
Yes.
Okay, Kim Nan, can you read this paragraph for me, please? Kim Nan.
Describe a language you have learned. A language you've learned in the past, a language you're learning now, and a language you'd like to learn in the future. And a sentence about each one. Teacher to give example.
Okay, teacher, that's me, of course. Thank you, Kim Nan. That was good reading. So what I'm going to tell you about is a language I learned in the past, which is French. I studied French when I was your age, when I was at high school, but I didn't like it very much. And now I can't remember very much of it at all. Now I'm practicing learning Thai, the Thai language, because as I mentioned to you before, I'm going to be going to Thailand in a couple of weeks. A language I'd like to learn in the future is Vietnamese, so I can talk to all of you better. All right, so you understand what I want you to do now. So I've talked for myself about a language I've learned in the past, the present, and the future, and I've given you one sentence, a one-sentence explanation for each one. So, Zung Ha, I'm going to start with you, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Zung Ha, would you like a few seconds to think about this?
I think about 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds to think about this. Thank you, Zung Ha. So for the rest of you, please, you have to be patient and wait for your turn. Something like this isn't very difficult. You should all be able to think of examples for this. So I don't want you to talk for too long. Okay, I just want you to give me 3 examples of languages and one sentence, a one-sentence explanation to go with each one. Something like this is very good practice for thinking off the top of your head. It means thinking without putting too much effort or work into it. You should be able to talk about something like this, just one sentence straight away. Okay, Zung Ha, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, so remember, you're only giving me one sentence, Zung Ha. All right, one sentence with each one, okay?
In the past, I have learned Japanese for 4 years in secondary school, and now I just learn English. But in the future, I would like to try out Chinese, because it's one of the most common language in the world.
Okay, good. Very good. So just one small mistake you made, just the last one. You said, I would like to learn Chinese because it's one of the most common language in the world. What is wrong with that sentence? I would like to learn Chinese because it's one of the most common language in the world. One thing is wrong with that sentence, one small thing. Do you want me to say it again?
Can you say it?
In the future, I would like to learn Chinese because it's one of the most common language in the world. Okay, give you a clue. Plural.
Language.
Languages.
Ah,
Has to be languages. Chinese is one of the most common languages in the world. Okay, the rest of that was fine, Zung Ha. Good. That's good. Okay, you used past, present, and future tense perfectly. That was good. So this is good practice for this as well. Okay, Tang, you are next. Tang.
Okay, so I have learned Chinese in the past. Uh, I am learning English right now, and I would like to learn Russian in the future because it is interesting.
Okay, that's fine. So the only thing you missed out, that was good English, Tang. You just missed out giving me examples or reasons for the first 2. Okay? So why did you learn Chinese in the past? You have to tell me, you have to give me a sentence. All right? And also, why are you learning English now? You have to give me a sentence. All right?
Okay.
So we can do that next time, the next example we do. Kim Nan.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready, Kim Nan?
Yeah.
Okay, please start when you are ready.
I have been learning English when I was in primary school until now. But in the future, if I use English fluency, I would like to learn Korean.
Remember, you have to give me an example. So why would you like to learn Korean?
The reason I want to learn Korean because I want to watching K-drama and listen to music without subtitle and travel. And when I'm travel, I can communicate with native speakers.
Okay, good. That's fine. That's more than one example. That's fine, Kim Nan. So again, just made you made one small mistake. Okay, you said to me, I want to watching K-drama.
I want to watching K-drama.
Yeah, you said, so what is wrong with that sentence? There's one word that is wrong. You said to me, I want to watching K-drama. What is wrong with that sentence?
Is watching.
Watching is incorrect. What should the word be? I want to watching K-drama.
One tu đằng sau one tu động từ nguyên thể con.
Okay, it is I want to watch K-drama.
Đấy chưa?
Okay, because we're talking about future tense here. Watching is present tense. Okay, so if you were watching K-drama now, you are talking about the present tense, but in the future, you want to watch K-drama. So you need to change watching to watch if you are talking about something that's going to happen in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kim Nam. Okay, Paula.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready, Paula.
Okay. So in the past, me and my family and I lived in Poland for a couple of years. That's why I used to speak some Polish. Now I go to foreign language specialized school, so I mostly use my English. But I also have my second language that I learn at school is German. So I hope in the future I would become more fluently in German.
Okay, Paula, that was excellent, except for one little mistake in your last sentence. You said, in the future, I want to become more fluently in German.
More fluent.
Correct. Correct. Okay, one little mistake. Okay, Paula, very good. And good examples. Very good examples. Michael.
Yes.
Your turn, Michael.
All right. Well, I used to speak Arabic when I was young, but it seems like a tongue twisting language for me, so I stopped. And currently, I'm learning about French because I was told that French was one of the most romantic languages in the world. And maybe in the future, I might learn Chinese because, well, technically, that's where my family names came from or originated from.
Okay, that's fine, Michael. Excellent. Excellent, Michael. Okay, perfect English. Very good. You used past, present, and future tense very well. Arabic, did you say, Michael? Arabic.
Yeah,
Okay, that's very good. Very interesting. Can you remember any of it or not?
of course not. I was learning it since I was 5.
Okay, all right. By the way, everyone, I think I've told you this before, but I will just remind you, remember for these exercises and even in the test itself, what you are saying doesn't have to be true. Okay, you can make something up as long as you are using good English to do so. You can say anything you like. So I don't know, for example, if Michael really learned Arabic or not. He could have made that up, but it doesn't matter because the way he spoke about it was correct. So remember, any sort of example like this, where you are asked to think of examples or think of something, if you don't have anything from your own experience, you can make something up. That's fine. The important thing is how you talk about it. Okay. Tuk Ling.
Yes. When I was a child, I had time to learn in Korea because I love watching Korean film. But now I am practicing English because I want to get a good job. And in the future, I will concentrate on learning Chinese because I want to go to Beijing and can communicate with native speaker.
Okay, excellent, Tuk Ling. Okay, very good. Excellent, well spoken. So Tuk Ling, the only thing I would suggest to you, did you write all of that down or just some notes?
No, just some notes.
Good,
Like I
good.
just
Yep,
write down
good.
some like Korean or Chinese.
Yep, good. No, that's great. That's great. I know it's very tempting for you, I'm talking to all of you now, to, when you have a little bit of time, like we do with these exercises, while you are waiting for your turn, it's very tempting to write down your speech. Please try to get out of this habit, because obviously in a test or exam, you won't have time to write down every word that you are going to say. So now is a good time to practice just writing a few notes and then talking about the notes, not writing down every single word. Now is a good time to start practicing that, because, as I say, and as I'm sure you know, during the exam, you won't get a chance to write out every single word that you're going to say. Okay, everyone did pretty well with that, so we're going to do another couple of examples of this. I'm going to go in reverse this time, so Tuk Ling, I'm going to start with you. All right? So this time, Tuk Ling, you have to describe a house or apartment you would like to live in. So this is a typical question you would get in part 2 of the Ielts exam. Notice it doesn't say describe a house or apartment you've lived in the past or one you would like to live in the future. You have to do that by yourself, okay? But you can look at a topic like this and think, yes, I can talk about where I used to live when I was a child. I can talk about where we live now, and I can talk about a house, my dream house, one day when I am older, that maybe I would like to live in. So I'm going to start with Tuk Ling. So it's going to be Tuk Ling, Michael, Paula, Kim Nan, Tang, and Zung Ha. That is the order this time. Let me know when you're ready to start, Tuk Ling. And remember, everyone, things like this you should be able to do pretty much instantly off the top of your head. I'll do one for you while we're waiting. When I was a child, we used to live in quite a small wooden house. I lived there with my brother and sister and mother and father. And even though there were 5 of us, there were only 3 bedrooms. So my brother and I had to share. Now I live in a house that is about the same size, but it has 2 floors or 2 stories. In the future, I think I would like to live in a very modern house that has lots of technological additions, things that will turn on the lights and turn on the oven, all those sorts of things for me. Okay, so I just talked about that off the top of my head without even thinking about it. And you should be able to, with a bit of practice, do the same thing. Tuk Ling, are you ready?
Yes, I think I'm ready.
Okay, just go, Tuk Ling, whenever you're ready.
Uh, when I was a child, I lived in a small house with my grandparents and my mom and my dad. But now I'm living in an apartment with a view can see a river outside. And in the future, I want to live in a bigger house than my house now, and had a garden, a swimming pool, and so on. Yes.
Sorry, a garden and a swimming pool. What else did you say? You said a
Yeah.
garden and a
Yes,
garden and a
yes.
swimming pool. Okay, a garden and a swimming pool. Okay. All right,
Yes,
very
yes.
good, Tuk Ling. That's very good. Okay, very good. I like the way that you use the river as an example of the view too. That's very good. Excellent. Okay, again, that was good past, present, and future, Tuk Ling. That's great. Okay, Zung Ha. Sorry, Michael. Michael.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready, Michael.
A few years ago, I used to live with my family in a small wooden house. The house only contained like one bedroom and a balcony, so it was very hard living there. Well, now I'm living in a house where it got technically all the furniture we need, and the space is very clear. So the bedrooms are separated from the parents. In the future, since I'm a peace lover, I guess I should take a house in the countryside with a big garden and a fine view to live in. Because all I ever wanted is peace. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, that's very good, Michael. That's very good. The only thing I would change with that, you said you're a peace lover. So
Yeah.
remember that peace in English, of course, has two meanings.
Ah,
Meanings. Okay, so peace is the opposite of war,
yeah.
is one meaning, and peace, the way you were using it, also means peaceful and quiet, not noisy.
Yes.
Okay, so peace lover in English, if you say that, people will always assume that you are talking about you don't like war.
Mm,
If you say, I'm a peace lover, it means I don't like war. If you want to say that you want to live somewhere that is quiet and not noisy, you have to change the sentence just a little bit. And you say, and you would have to use a phrase. Okay. So you would have to say, I really love peace and quiet.
oh,
Peace and quiet is a very common collocation. Okay. Those words go together.
yeah.
All right. Does that make sense, Michael?
Yeah, that does make sense.
Okay, so again, if you say, and this is good for everyone to learn, if you say, I am a peace lover, it means you don't like war. But if you are trying to say that I want to live somewhere that is quiet, not like Hanoi, you say, I would like to live in the countryside because I like peace and quiet. You really need to use the collocation, peace and quiet. Then people know you are talking about something different from being a peace lover, being against the war. Okay, Michael, that's very good. Paula.
So when I was small, my family moved house several times. So I have to learn how to adapt in, different environments. And the thing is, we have always lived in an apartment in buildings. And right now, my family also lives in an apartment, and I live with my parents because my sister moved out. So in the future, I want to, try to live in like a piece of real estate.
You want to live in a piece of real estate.
Yeah, like the house that you built on the ground.
Ah, okay. So I want to live in a piece of real estate isn't quite how you would say it in English. You would need to talk about a type of building, Paula. Okay. In the future, I would like to live in, because real estate can also just refer to bare land, okay, which has no house on it at all. So you really need to specify what sort of building you would like to live in, such as house, villa, apartment, mansion. You know all the words, of course. I know you do. Okay, so just be careful with real estate because it can mean, like I say, it can also mean just land without any house. Does that make sense, Paula?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good. But good examples with the other ones too, Paula. Okay, Kim Nan. Your
So,
turn, Kim Nan.
so far, I'm living in a small house with my mom in the suburbs of the city. So I always live in an apartment in the city center. I like living in a high floor apartment because I can see the whole city from above, and I want it to have a large balcony so that I can party and plant many trees.
I want to have a large balcony so I can party, did you say?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I want to have a large balcony so I can party. And what was the last part, Kim Nan, of your sentence? I want to have a large balcony so I can party and what did you say?
Plant many trees.
Sorry, plant many trees. Sorry, I couldn't hear it the first time. A large balcony so I can party and plant many trees. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Good examples. And that was a good example talking about the view, of course, too. The view. View is a very powerful thing to talk about. Like before, I think it was Tuk Ling was talking about the river, I think. That instantly makes a picture in people's minds. And if you can do that, that's a very effective way of getting someone to listen more closely to your story. And that will help when you're talking in an exam, if you can give the examiner some sort of mental picture. So talking about having a beautiful view or living beside a peaceful river. Very good examples to use. Zung Ha. Sorry, not you, Zung Ha. Sorry, Tang.
Yes.
Okay, Tang, whenever you're ready, please.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I live in a house that is not too big or too small. Like it is like what did I say?
You just say that. Just say that, Tang.
Okay.
When I was a kid, I used to live in a house that wasn't too big or too small. That's fine. That's all you need to say.
Okay, so now
So
I'm still
now,
living in
yeah.
now I'm still living in that house, but it got some upgrade. And in the future, I would like to live in an apartment because its surrounding have many convenience store, so I don't have to go for too far to buy stuff.
Okay, that's fine. That's good. That's all you need to say. Okay, just one sentence. That's fine. Tang. So the only thing I will change is the sentence where you talked about where you're living now. You said I live in the same house, but it got some upgrade. It got some upgrade, which is not quite grammatically correct. You need to say it's been upgraded. It's been upgraded. Okay, Tang?
Okay.
So it's got some upgrade doesn't quite work. It's not quite correct. So you would say it's been upgraded. It's been upgraded. Okay, so you need to still use the past tense, which is in this case been. It's been upgraded. Okay, thank you, Tang. Now is your turn, Zung Ha. Thank you for waiting so patiently.
So when I was a little girl, I was dream of living a house like in cartoon movie of all the princess had dreamed of. And now I living with my grandparents, my whole family, and I living with my grandparents. And in the future, I would like to move to another house. It's bigger and have more bedrooms, so me and my brother can have our own bedrooms.
Okay, good. That's fine, Zung Ha. So I liked it that you weren't reading off your notes. Is that right? You didn't write the whole thing out? Is that right, Zung Ha?
Actually, I didn't write anything.
Great. Okay, that's very good, Zung Ha. You are able to talk very freely without writing something down. That's a good skill to have and a good one for everyone to practice. Okay, because this is the sort of thing that will be very handy in an exam. If you don't need to write everything down, if you can just talk as you are thinking of it, you are saving yourself a lot of time and energy and stress. That's good, Zung-ha. Thank you. Okay, one more exercise of this. So Zung-ha, I'm going to start with you again. Okay. And we're going to go in the opposite direction. So Zung-ha, Tang, Kim-nan, Paula, Michael, Tuk-ling. So Zung-ha, you can see the next topic. Describe a memorable trip you have taken. I'll give you a few seconds to think about this. So past, present, and future. Now you might be thinking, how can I talk about a trip I'm taking now when I'm sitting in the English class? Well, what you do is you make your trip in the past something that happened a little while ago. You make the one for the present something that you have done recently. Okay? Maybe yesterday or last week, something like that. But of course, both of those trips are going to be in the past, both the past one and the one you use with the present. So you can see with this sort of question, as I was saying before, one of the limitations of this sort of tactic, PPF, is that sometimes it doesn't quite fit the topic. So you have to be adaptable. Zung-ha, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay.
So in the past, I have traveled a lot around Vietnam, but as people says that no place like home, that I really like to go to my hometown with my grandparents. Recently, I went to their house before they travel abroad with my aunt. I have a great time with them. I spend time cooking and go out with them. And in the future, I hope I can have more time to spend with them. Or moreover, I want to go abroad with them, traveling around the world.
Okay, that's good. Maybe I think my main comment would be you need to think of specific destination, okay, for the future. So think of a country. It's probably easiest. A country you'd like to go and why?
I think Germany,
Okay, in the future, I would like to go to Germany because,
because it's where my aunt is living.
okay, fine. That's it. That's all you need to say. In the future, I would like to go to Germany because that's where my aunt is living. Okay? Remember, that's all you have to say. I've said this many times before to all of you, and I will keep on saying it throughout our lessons. KIS. KIS. Remember what KIS means, Zung-ha?
Keep it simple.
Correct. Keep it simple. Okay, so in that case, you just say, I would like to go to Germany in the future because that's where my aunt is living. That's all you need to say. Very simple, very easy. All right. So, and the only thing I will correct, Zung-ha, is you said you had a great time cooking and go out with them. What is wrong with that sentence? I had a great time cooking and go out with them.
Going out.
Correct. Well done. I had a great time cooking and going out with them. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, because you need to say going for past tense. Go is present tense or future tense if you say will go. That's good, Zung-ha. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, Tang.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, I hope so. Good.
So a few years ago, I have my first time going abroad. It was to Malaysia, And recently, I have a chance to visit from Nha Kai Bang. And in the future, a trip to England would be nice.
Because, remember, example. In the future, a trip to England would be nice. Why?
Because I want to try England food.
Good. Okay, I want to try English food. Okay, good. So that's good, Tang. That was good. Just remember, you need to give an example or a reason with everything you say, especially in an exam. The examiner will be listening for some sort of explanation. So I want to go to England in the future. I want to go to Japan in the future. You need to say why. And like I said before, just keeping it simple, just give one sentence why. Just like you did. I want to go to England in the future because I want to try English food. I want to go to Paris in the future because I want to climb the Eiffel Tower. So you always need to think of a reason or an example or an explanation. Okay, Kim Ngan.
In Saturday, not in Friday, I had a short vacation with my sisters. Just only 2 days, 1 night. We went to the villa for a vacation. Although it was a short trip, it was full of memories. We did all together, like cook, take pictures, sing, and dance. Additionally, we stay up all night and recorded videos. In the future, if I have a chance, I hope we uh, we we will go to many places with to create good memories.
Okay, good, Kim Nam. Okay, so you answered the question fine. You did past, present, and future. That's good. I will just quickly correct some of your English. So you started off by saying in Friday. In Friday. In is not the correct preposition to start the sentence with. Do you know what it should be? It's not in Friday, it's
On.
correct. Well done. On Friday. On is the correct preposition. Okay. On Friday. Okay. What is wrong with this sentence, Kim Nan? You said to me, we stayed 2 days and 1 night. We stayed 2 days and 1 night. Okay. What is wrong with that sentence? We stayed 2 days and 1 night. Okay, I'll give you a clue. Plural, Kim Nan, plural.
2 đây với số nhiều đâu.
2 days.
Đúng rồi.
Correct. Correct. Okay, so it has to be 2 days.
2 days.
Okay. Okay, so 1 day, but if it's any more than 1, it has to be days. Like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and so on. Okay, so just remember your plurals. And the last one is, what's wrong with this sentence? Kim Nan, you said to me, we stay up all night. We stay up all night. Talking about something that happened in the past.
Stayed.
Correct. We stayed up all night. Good, Kim Nan. That's good. Good. So everyone, again, I've said this in the past, but please remember, doesn't matter if you make a mistake doing this practice in class. Please don't feel shy or embarrassed about that. One of the best ways to learn new skills is to make mistakes, because that makes you, once you're corrected, then it's much easier to remember in the future. So please, no one worry about making mistakes in this. Myself or Mrs. Ha will always correct them and show you the right thing to do. That is why you come to class, of course. Okay, Paula.
Okay, so to talk about a memorable trip, I have just had a wonderful summer vacation. I actually had a 3-day trip to Halong with my mom's workplace, and we had, a whale of time there. So in Halong Bay, we got to try their cuisine, and also we got to see, some spectacular scenes and landscapes. We also got a chance to um take I think it's called, wait, I forgot the word.
Đi ăn luôn đi.
It's kind of a ship where we go sailing on the sea there. So
Like
yeah,
ship, yeah, it's ship.
yeah, so I got a wonderful time there. So that's why I look forward to the next summer vacation.
Okay. Okay. So the only thing, of course, you didn't say is what summer vacation you would look forward to. All right. You should probably say that. In the future, I would like to go to Ninh or somewhere. Anything.
Okay.
Okay. So the easiest way to describe, actually, that was very good, Paula. You've brought up a very good teaching point. You might have heard everyone, Paula said, oh, I can't think of the word. Okay. That is fine to do an exam. Okay. If that happens to you in an exam and suddenly your mind goes blank, it is fine to say that. No problem. You can say, oh, I can't think of the word. I mean, a boat trip or a boat tour. Okay, that by the way is the correct phrase, I think, Paula, that you were looking for. We went on a boat tour or a boat trip. But if you find that your mind goes blank in the exam, it's okay to use up a few seconds by saying, oh, what is the word? I can't quite think of the phrase. It means something like going for a trip on a boat. Okay, it is absolutely fine to do that. You won't lose any marks for that. And what else was I going to talk to you about, Paula? Yes. So Paula used a couple of words some of you might not be familiar with. One was cuisine, which is a French word, which just is a French word for food. Okay, so Paula enjoyed the cuisine. Cuisine spelled Cuisine. Cuisine. Like I say, it's French. Good word to add to your vocabulary. Just means food in French, cuisine. And Paula also used a great adjective, spectacular. She talked about the spectacular scenery, which means, wow, really amazing scenery, spectacular. Again, this is a good adjective to add to your vocabulary. Thank you, Paula. Michael.
Yep.
Okay, your turn.
So I used to take a trip along with my family since I was 5. This was one of the most wonderful trips I've ever experienced. I went to the beach in Nha Trang, enjoyed some seafood there. Seafood was extraordinarily good. And after all, my family went home. Well, in the present, I would like to travel to Da Nang. Yes, it's a wonderful place. I've had my friends waiting for me. And in the future, we'll have a lot of wish position, I mean, places to travel to. But if I have to pick one, maybe I should travel to Japan. It's it's one of the most wonderful country in the entire world, I guess.
Okay, Michael. That's okay, Michael. So what you're saying is fine. It's just a little bit long. Okay. just a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit long for this. Just remember to keep it simple. In the future, I would like to go to Japan because I think it's one of the most wonderful countries.
Ah, okay.
Okay, it's all you need to say. All you need to say. Okay. Otherwise, it sounds like if you keep talking, it sounds like you are going to run out of things, ideas to say. So better
Oh,
just
yeah.
to have one simple sentence. In the future, I'd like to go to Japan because it's the most wonderful country, I think.
Okay.
Okay, see what I mean? Just keep
Yes.
it, again, keep it simple. Just one reason why you would like to go to Japan, because it's the most wonderful country. Okay. What was the adjective you used with the food, Michael?
Extraordinary and
Extraordinary. Oh, good, good. So everyone, that's another good adjective to use. Extraordinary. Again, it means fabulous, not ordinary. Okay. It means extraordinary means fabulous, wonderful, awesome. There are quite a few synonyms with that, but extraordinary, again, is a good word to add to your vocabulary when you want to describe how wonderful something is. Extraordinary. That's good, Michael. And the only other thing I wanted to correct, you said, what did you say? Was one of the times you mentioned trip. It should have been trips.
yeah.
Something like you said, one of the most wonderful trip I ever had.
Yeah, it's in
Okay.
the like
Should have
past
been
tense.
trips. Yeah, should have been trips. Okay, thank you, Michael. All right, very good, everyone. So just to review what we've been doing, we've been practicing using the PPF strategy or technique or tactic. They are all synonyms for how you can answer speaking part 2. Okay, PPF, past, present, future. And again, I emphasize this won't work with every topic you get, but it is worth keeping in the back of your mind because it will work with quite a few. And it gives you an instant plan. Remember, you've only got 1 minute to think of a plan. It gives you an instant plan as to how to answer a question. Okay, talk about the past, the present, and the future of something. Are there any questions? Right. So we've got 25 minutes left in this lesson. And what I'm going to do now is just show you this sheet, which some of you will be very familiar with all of this. Some of you not so familiar, but I think it is good to revise and review this sort of thing occasionally, just to remind you of some of the techniques and some of the things you can do when answering the speaking test. And I'm talking here about parts 1, 2, and 3. We've been concentrating for the last hour on part 2, but of course there are parts 1 and 3 as well. So I'm going to go through this reasonably quickly because, like I say, most of you are familiar with this. If anyone wants a copy of this, I can email it to you. But like I say, most of you will be familiar with the material we're going to cover, but it is worth reviewing occasionally, just to remind you, because the more you know about this sort of thing, the more comfortable you will feel, and you will not feel so stressed during a test if you know all the different things already that are to do with the test. So part 1 of the speaking test, which I'm sure all of you know by now, is where the examiner asks you simple questions about yourself. So remember, there are no difficult topics in part 1. The examiner will ask you questions to do with maybe your hometown. What do you study? What subjects do you like the most? What do you like the least? The sort of things you do in your spare time. Simple questions like, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? These are all simple questions. They are all about you. You can practice some of these in advance, but as I say a little later on, don't try to memorize a complete answer. So you can think about I know my favorite color is blue. I know my favorite food is banh mi. The favorite place I like to go on my holiday is Nha Trang. Okay, you can think about those answers in advance, but don't practice your whole answer in advance because it doesn't sound natural. So I've just written down here a few things not to worry about. Okay, don't worry about the clothes you wear to the test. All right, the examiner is only going to be interested in what you are saying, not really interested in what you are wearing. Okay, when you greet the examiner, again, we've practiced this in the past, you greet the examiner just like anyone else you are meeting for the first time. Hello, I'm Michael. Nice to meet you. Okay, very simple. Sometimes students complain that the examiner doesn't seem very friendly. That doesn't matter. You know, some people you meet in any part of life, sometimes they don't seem that friendly. Doesn't matter. Don't let that bother you. That's just the way some people are. Just use your normal hand gestures and eye contact. I always think it is best not to look down all the time. I think if you look down all the time in any sort of test, it gives a feeling that you are not very confident, that you are maybe a bit too shy. And you don't really want to give that impression, I think. So please, just look at the examiner just like you would look at anybody. Okay, and if you are used to using your hands, I use my hands a lot all the time. Just keep using your hands. Remember, the main thing is what you are saying. Just act normally. Again, most of you know this. These are the different things you are assessed or marked on: your pronunciation, your fluency and coherence. Fluency, just a reminder, means how well you can keep talking without too many pauses or interruptions or trying to think of what to say next. Okay, so you can talk in complete sentences. Coherence means, is what you are saying make sense? And are you answering the question? That's what coherence refers to. And of course, vocabulary and grammar you will be assessed on. Vocabulary, remember, they usually call lexical resource. Lexical resource just means how good is your vocabulary? How many words do you know? Words like spectacular and extraordinary, as some of you said in your little talks before. Common mistakes people make during the test, giving answers that are too short, and the opposite, giving answers that are too long. We're talking about part one here, remember. You only want to talk in 2 or 3 sentences. So you don't want to give one-word answers. You want to talk in complete sentences, but you don't want to talk in too many sentences either. Robotic delivery means delivery that is unnatural, that is too flat. Remember to talk just like you're talking to a normal person. As I was saying before, don't try to memorize answers. Okay, then you end up sounding a bit like a robot. The examiners are trained and told to listen for this. They will take marks off if they think you are just reciting something that you memorized. That's not showing how fluent you are. And again, try not to use fancy vocabulary and idioms that you are not sure of. An exam is not the place to practice fancy words if you are not totally sure of the meaning. By all means, of course, use more formal or fancy or spectacular words if you know what they mean, of course, but not if you are not sure how they work. So in summary, be natural, just like you're talking to someone you know. A lot of this, of course, is common sense. You know this already. As I was talking before about giving reasons, explanations, and examples. I want to go to Japan because I like to eat banh mi because. Okay, always give examples and explanations. Then it shows how good your vocabulary is. Obviously, answer the questions they ask. Don't go off and answer something else. And just remember simple grammar like your past, present, and future words, comparatives, superlatives, words like that. Are there any questions about part one? I'm just turning on my fan for my computer. It's overheating a little bit. All right. Part two, which we've just been looking at, and we've looked at one of the strategies or techniques, which is past, present, and future. That is a common strategy. Remember the goal. Again, you all know this. You have to speak fluently and coherently for 2 minutes about a topic. Problems that students have with this, not being able to speak fluently and coherently, not being able to talk about all the bullet points, running out of things to say is a big problem. Some people can't talk for 2 minutes. Repeating yourself, you don't want to repeat yourself when you are talking. Okay, you always want to be saying something new. Some students worry that they won't know about a topic. All the topics in the Ielts test, they are chosen so that people who have a reasonable standard of education will know something about them. So, for example, they are not going to ask you, how does a nuclear power plant work? Okay, why does the sun shine? Okay, they're not going to ask you anything difficult or technical. They're only going to ask you things that you will know about. Talk about a memorable trip you've had. Tell me about a favorite possession of yours. Okay, they are all things that you're going to be able to talk about. So don't worry that you're going to be given a topic that you know nothing about. Now, this is a question, a typical part two question. Hung,
Yes.
can you read for me all of this question, please?
A common strategy.
Yeah.
Describe something you own that's important to you. You should say where you got it from, how long you have had it, what you use for, and explain why it's important for you or to you.
Good, Tang. Okay, so if this is an exam, Tang, what would you choose?
Something important. I think my phone.
Okay, phone. Good, good. Okay. A lot of people say phone. So you can see here, it's got these are bullet points. So it says, where did you get your phone from? How long have you had it? What do you use it for? So a lot of people will look at these questions, okay, and first of all, they think, I've got 2 minutes. There are 4 different bullet points. I have to talk for each bullet point for 30 seconds. Okay, and that isn't going to work, is it, Tang? Where did you get your phone from? It's not going to take you 30 seconds to describe where you bought your phone. It's not going to take 30 seconds to describe how long you've had your phone. And it's not going to take 30 seconds to describe what you use your phone for. Kim Nan.
Yeah.
Kim Nan, can you hear me?
Ngân ơi,
Yeah.
Okay,
Hy vọng
Kim
nghe.
Nan. Have you got a phone, Kim Nan?
It's my present from my mom.
Okay, all right. What do you use your phone for? Kim Nan, what do you use it for?
I use phone for entertainment, studying. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so exactly, Kim Nan, that's good. So you can see it doesn't take 30 seconds to say that. Okay, to say I use my phone for entertainment and studying. Okay, it takes about 5 seconds. So what I'm saying here, the important thing is don't look at each bullet point and think, I've got 2 minutes, there are 4 bullet points, I have to talk for 30 seconds for each one. It can't be done, okay? You will run out of things to say very quickly. So following bullet points, as I've got written here, doesn't help you speak fluently. All right? So that's the problem with that strategy, trying to talk about each bullet point for an equal length of time. You can't do it, so don't worry about that. All right? Strategy 2 is one we have just spent the last hour discussing, PPF, past, present, and future. And as we all know by now, this strategy is good, but it doesn't work for every topic. Often you can't talk about the future of some things. Sometimes you can't even talk about the past of some things. So very easy to run out of ideas if you try to use this strategy with every question. So what is the answer? All right, and the answer is here. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you understand the topic sentence. This is the topic sentence. Here is the first sentence. Describe something you own that's important to you. So Tang chose his phone. And like I say, many people choose their phone. It's one of the most important things a lot of people own. So the important thing to remember is the thing that is important to you is your phone. The bullet points are not so important. So where you got it from, how long you've had it, what you use it for, they're not very important. But this bullet point, explain why it's important to you, is. And this bullet point here is how you can build your entire 2 minutes of talking. Paula.
Bao ơi,
Yeah.
Okay, Paula. Okay, I've come to you now. I know I'm doing a lot of talking, so I want to get some of you involved. Paula, can you think of a time that you used your phone for something, something exciting, something interesting, something dangerous? Some time when having your phone saved you. Can you think of anything off the top of your head?
Yeah, you know, when you get kidnapped, you can use your phone.
Okay, can you think of anything that's happened to you?
Happened to me.
Yeah,
Mm.
that where your phone has been valuable for you.
Oh yeah, so actually, when I was a member of, of an organization, we have to organize a conference,
Yeah.
and there was a child,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, that's fine, Paula. You can stop there. Okay, thank you. All right. So what Paula was doing there, and everyone, I know I'm talking a lot, but it's a bit hard to do this any other way. What Paula was starting to do was to talk about a time when her phone was important to her, okay, where she used it to help her organize a conference. And if this was the test for real, Paula could then go on to talk about how the phone was useful for the conference. And she could even talk about what the conference was about. Am I right, Paula?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And before you know it, you've already been talking for 30 seconds. okay? Just about one thing to do with why your phone is important to you. All right, by thinking of an example. So, what I'm trying to say here is that the bullet points aren't important, okay? You don't need to talk about the bullet points. You do need to talk about the main topic, of course. And the topic in this case describes something you own that's important to you. If you've chosen your phone, then you have to just talk about, why is my phone important to me? Well, my phone's important to me because I used it this one time to help me organize a conference. I used it this one time for when my mother got kidnapped, and the kidnappers had to ring me with information about how much money they wanted. Like I say, it doesn't have to be true. You can make it up. But sometimes it's best to stick to the truth because then it's easier to remember. Tuk Ling, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, so again, I will say this several times between now and the end of the lesson in 5 minutes. The bullet points aren't important, okay? The main key message for all of you, please, to take from this lesson is that in part 2 of the speaking, the bullet points aren't important. What is important is the topic, okay, and what you do with it. Does that make sense, Tuk Ling?
Yes.
Okay, so you can,
Yeah.
for example, answer these bullet points, but you don't have to. You don't have to. And if you do answer the bullet points, you don't have to answer them in any particular order. What is important is the main topic and the experiences that you can talk about relating to the main topic. In this case, the phone. So, Zong Ha,
Yes.
okay, what is the key message, Zong Ha, that I'm trying to give you about this? The bullet points are what?
Mm,
The bullet
like,
points are, what did I say? Can you remember?
keep it simple.
Not in this case. The bullet points are Kim Nan. Can you remember?
Sorry, I can't remember.
Okay, Michael, can you remember?
The bullet points are not important.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, everyone remember. So, Zung Ha, the bullet points you see in part 2, okay, are not so important. All right, this is the key message from this lesson. Okay, if you don't remember anything else from this lesson, please remember this. The bullet points in part 2 are not important. You don't need to talk about the bullet points. You only need to talk about the main topic. The bullet points are not important. You only need to talk about the main topic. So please, when you see the bullet points listed like this here, in any question that is set out like this, okay, you can ignore them. Remember, the main reason you are doing the test, the Ielts test, is to demonstrate how well you can talk English. The examiner isn't interested that you answer each of these bullet points. What they want to hear you do is to talk fluently and coherently about the main topic, in this case, your phone. So you need to, in the 1 minute preparation time that you have, talk about reasons why the phone is important to you. So don't get worried about bullet points that only have maybe a 1 or 2 word answer. Concentrate on this. So this is the strategy that will help you answer these questions. Concentrate on past, present, and future if you think that's going to work. In the case of a phone, that's probably not going to work. In the case of a phone, you need to concentrate on, why is my phone important to me? What times did I use it that really helped me? Maybe I used it to help me write an essay because I could look up, I could research on my phone. Maybe there was an emergency one day. My brother was sick and I had to call the hospital or call to a doctor to find out what to do. And you tell the story about that. Does this make sense to you, Tang?
Yes.
Okay, so remember, the bullet points are not important. The main topic is important. So you need to, as I've written here, think of things related to the topic that you can talk about. So in the case of the phone, you think about things you've used the phone for in the past, like research, like calling for help, like talking to your mum's kidnappers. Okay, if that's what you decide to come up with. The important thing is being able to talk fluently and coherently about the main topic. So again, the bullet points are not important. Don't get stressed that you have to answer each bullet point. You don't. Okay, you just have to answer the main topic. So that is the main key point I want you to take away from this week's lesson. Zung Ha, what is the main point I want you to take from this week's lesson?
That the bullet point is not important.
Correct, Zung Ha. Thank you. Well done. Okay, and I'm talking about here part 2 of the speaking test. The bullet point is not important. Just the main topic is important. Okay, in this case, talking about why your phone is important to you. All right, everyone. So that is the end of the lesson for today. Just a review of the speaking, and the bullet points are not important. And you also now have a strategy to help you answer part 2 questions, which is PPF, past, present, and future. Next week, we will be looking at writing, writing task 2. So I know I've done a lot of talking for this time, but I thought it was important just to run through the various parts of the speaking test and to remind you once again that the bullet points in part 2 are not the key, okay? The key is to look at the main topic and decide what experiences, what things you can talk about with the main topic. Past, present, or future, maybe. Otherwise, talk about things to do with the main topic, in this case, your phone. Are there any questions about any of that? All right, everyone. Well, I hope you found that useful. Again, it's lovely to see you all again after our break. I've missed you all, and I hope you have a happy week and enjoy the rest of your day. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday. Okay, bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Ray.
Everyone.
Bye, Michael.
Con chào ba.
Bye, Thục Linh.
Oh, chào con trai. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they has gone already.
They always rush away.